Have you ever had one of those brilliant, game-changing ideas only to see it just kind of fade away? Well, today we're going to dive into the toolkit that turns that raw inspiration into something real. We're talking about how structured thinking, or rationality, is the secret architect behind your best ideas.
It's a tough question, isn't it? And we've all been there. You get that flash of insight, that perfect solution, but somewhere between the aha moment and the finish line, it just gets lost. The thing is, most great ideas don't fail because they aren't good enough. They fail because they're missing a blueprint.
And this is really the core of it all. On one side, you've got inspiration. It's raw, it's limitless, and yeah, it's wonderfully chaotic. It's the spark. But on the other side, you need structure to take that spark and make it focused, to make it real. The trick is bridging that gap without putting out the creative fire.
So in the innovation game, creativity is what gets you started. It's the engine, for sure. But here's the catch. It's just not enough to get you to the destination. Pure, unstructured brilliance, it often just leads to a dead end.
Think about it. Without a clear path forward, even the most revolutionary ideas can just collapse under their own weight. Complexity starts to creep in, you lose focus, and that incredible spark just gets buried in a complicated mess.
So this is where the hero of our story comes in, rationality. But I want you to forget that old picture of rationality as some cold, boring creativity killer. We're going to reframe it completely. Think of rationality as the architect for your idea. It's not laying the bricks, it's designing the blueprint that makes the whole building possible.
I mean, that quote just changes everything, doesn't it? Rationality isn't about soulless calculations. It's about focus. It's the discipline to stop and ask, okay, what really matters for this idea to actually work? And then building a plan around that answer.
And look, modern rationality isn't just about spreadsheets and logic puzzles. The best innovators out there, especially when things are uncertain, they blend all kinds of knowing. They mix that sharp analytical thinking with their gut feelings, they use emotional intelligence to read the room, and they draw on their own lived experiences. It's this whole dynamic approach to making really smart choices.
So, if rationality is the architect, then what does this blueprint actually look like? Well, I like to use a framework I call CreActionality. It's a mashup of creativity, action, and rationality. It's basically a clear, simple structure for your thinking.
And this framework has three really simple but powerful layers. First up, you get super clear on your main idea, and this is crucial, you explore other paths. What if you went left instead of right? Second, you zoom out and look at the context. What world is your idea living in? And third, you get strategic. How is this actually going to create value, and who's it for? See, it's a logical flow from a fuzzy concept to a concrete plan.
Now, a blueprint is totally useless if you don't have tools to build with. This is where rationality stops being this abstract concept and becomes something you can actually use. Let's look at the specific tools you can pull out to bring this blueprint to life. So here's how it all connects. For that first layer, defining your idea, you can use things like the 6 thinking hats to look at it from every single angle. For understanding the context, a stakeholder map is amazing. And for the strategy piece, you've got tools like the value proposition canvas. You see, these don't box in your creativity. They give it a direction and a purpose.
And of course, in the 21st century, we're not just doing this inside our own heads. We have these incredibly powerful partners that can help us think better. And they live right inside our technology.
Think about things like AI-powered dashboards or those collaborative digital whiteboards. These are all decision support systems. They let us process massive amounts of information, check our assumptions against real data, and even play out different what-if scenarios for the future. They help us decide not just faster, but way, way smarter.
But even with the best tech in the world, our biggest challenge is often, well, it's our own brain. As the Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman said, nothing is as important as you think it is while you are thinking about it. This gets right to the heart of cognitive biases, those mental shortcuts that mess with our thinking, like confirmation bias, where we only hunt for proof that we're right.
So when you boil it all down, real rationality is about one thing: creating a pause. It's that little bit of space between a gut reaction and making a final choice. And in that space, that's where we can spot our biases, look at the data, and make a decision that's deliberate and wise.
Okay, let's pull this out of the world of theory and put it into practice. This next part is all about taking these ideas and turning them into an immediate action you can apply to one of your own projects, like right now.
All right, here's a little mini task for you. Think of one decision you've been procrastinating on. Got it? Now, look at this impact effort grid. Where does that decision fit?
Is it a high-impact, low-effort, quick win that you should probably just do right now? Or is it a high-impact, high-effort, strategic priority that needs a serious plan? Just this one simple act of sorting it out can bring so much clarity.
And once you've put your decision on that grid, ask yourself this question. What's the one piece of information you're missing? Is it some customer feedback? Is it market data? Just figuring out what that gap is, that's often the very first step toward making a move with real confidence.
So as we're wrapping up, I want to leave you with one last thing to chew on. When the pressure's on and you have to make a big call, what's your go-to? Do you lead with pure logic, that gut feeling, or your emotional response? The goal isn't to say one is better than the other, but to figure out how to get all three working together to make stronger, wiser choices.
Because in the end, that's what this is all about. You can have the most amazing idea, the most perfect plan, the best tools in the world, but none of it means a thing without action. Every single great innovation, every company that changed the world, it all started with one simple, rational, and totally courageous decision: the decision to act.